Welcome back, everybody. It is Fix It Friday. With me now is Doug Letsinger. He's with Letsinger Marine. He's here to give us some tips on how to keep the boat's engine in pristine shape. So this is a really important thing to do. What are some of the problems that you're seeing as people call and ask you for help?
Well, what we see is, and with boating, unlike your car, you're driving your car every week. Mm-hmm. You'll probably burn a tank of gas every week or 2 weeks or once a month anyway. So you're always putting fresh fuel in there and you're consuming everything that's in there for the most part, except for a little bit. Right. With a boat, you fill it, it sits up, and then you go running a little bit and it may sit up for 6 months. Well, what happens with an ethanol blended fuel, they put ethanol in to raise the octane. Well, there's a phase separation that takes place after months, okay? It could be 3 or 4 months, could be longer, could be a little less. Mm-hmm. Several things go into that. And the ethanol will separate out. Where you put the ethanol in to raise the octane, well, it separates out. The alcohol does, okay? Mm-hmm. And alcohol attracts water. Right. So then you get water induced into it, and then it spreads out, and then as it separates, the water's on the bottom, and you run, and it picks up the water and it fills up your fuel system. So it ends up being a big mess. A big mess. It can be very expensive, mm-hmm. somewhere as little as $100 up to $1,000, depending on the type of engine. With the new technology engines, with the 4-stroke and multi-port fuel injection and EFI, things like that, mm-hmm. then the ethanol will corrode the rubber O-rings and hoses, as well as stop up injectors and plug up electric fuel pumps to where maybe they can't be cleaned and repaired, they have to be replaced. And that's where you start talking big bucks. That's where you start talking. What can we do to preserve the engine if we're not going to have it on the lake a lot and burn that tank of gas? Tell me about some of the chemicals here that you brought today. Well, Mercury, because of this, they've always done additives for the fuel. And they come out because of the ethanol and particularly the phase separation. They came out last year, and we didn't actually get it into our store until February this year. And they come up with the Q-Care, which prevents phase separation. So it holds the alcohol, the ethanol, with the gasoline and keeps it from separating out. And then also it will clean the fuel system and prevent corrosion. You know, I hate to have to say that as high as gas is, mm-hmm. that you spend $11, but this does treat 120 gallons, so 1 ounce will take care of 10 gallons. And that prevents you from spending possibly $1,000 just to fix the engine. Hundreds of dollars. Right. Hundreds. So this is step 1. Tell me about step 2. Step 2 is because the fuels are as expensive they are, they're such a poor grade. You get carbon buildup, and now the carbon's been with us for a while. But this is actually a carbon cleaner and a fuel cleaner and an injector cleaner. I recommend this on a regular basis. This can be sporadic throughout the year, mm-hmm. And it will keep your engine running, but this keeps you out of the shop. And that's a good, only for $11. Yeah. And then finally, before we wrap up, tell me about the third process. Okay, there. The third thing is that it's a stabilizer. Okay. Okay, and it will stabilize your fuel. It will prevent it from deteriorating, which means oxidation. Okay. And air causes the oxidation, and it'll hold it together and keep your fuel fresh for up to a year. And when you don't use it, and you put it up for a year or 6 or 8 months, and you come back to go fishing or skiing, you're not going fishing. And it may not start. It may not start. Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us. Very important information. If you have some questions, be sure to give them a call. Letsinger Marine. The number's 388-5790. And quickly, where are you located? I'm at 805 South Grand, just south of the interstate, next to the river. All right, we'll find you. Thanks so much. Thank you very much. And here's a quick look at Titan True View Doppler. Clay is back with your weekend forecast.